Hey there YouTube, it's MrLuBuFu. As you can hear, I'm finally not sick. Yay! Took me such a long time to get over this bug. But, yeah, so I figured I'm going to do a deck tech for the deck I'm going to play at States. States is a standard tournament, and if you win, you get a plaque and all this fun stuff. And since people on YouTube seem to like deck techs, I'm just going to go over it. So this is a deck I pretty much custom made. I've been working on it for a while. It's sort of like a shell to a green-white deck I built right when Innistrad came out. Except that one was more green-white tokens, and this one is more of a green-white mid-range deck I've been experimenting with, which I think is pretty good. Now, I'm going to set this to auto-upload during states, so this is recorded pre-states. I'm going to set to upload while I'm there, so that way people don't get an unfair advantage on me, because I don't like people knowing my deck before they do, because it has a few interesting cards in it that I think are important to the meta, or taking advantage of the current meta. So we have a playset of Absence Pilgrims and 3 Arbor Elves as mana dorks. Turn 1 accelerants are really good, especially with this deck, which the goal is to get out a big 3-drop on turn 2, and then take over the game from there. Oh, that should not be in that order, because I have anything that's proxied here I'm going to have to borrow and or trade for tonight at FNM. Today is Friday, by the way. Tonight at FNM, but also a playset of Rancor. Makes the deck tick, turns any one of your mana dorks into a legitimate threat. And we've got 3 Selesnya Charms. The 4th, I believe, is going to be in Sideboard. 2 Thalias. Looking for 2 more for Sideboard. She's just all around really good. Strong against control. And 3 drops, we've got a playset of Silverblade Paladin. As I said, the goal is to drop a big 3-dropper. In this case, Silverblade Paladin or Loxodon Smiter. There's the 4th one. I know he's there, I felt it. There he is. So, basically, a Loxodon Smiter on turn 2 is 4 power on turn 2. Slap a Rancor on it, or give it double strike with Silverblade Paladin. It just does so much work. Smiter also is very good against zombies. They have to use their -1/-1 can't block on it because he's got the 4 toughness. So he at least trades with some of their removal. Definitely, those are what make the deck tick. It gives you... There's very few decks in this format that do well coming back from behind. So being able to set up an early board presence is huge in this format. 3 O-rings. 4th is in this... 4th is in the side, primarily for Planeswalker hate. New Jace is in fact a card. There's a reason why it went up to $50. Those people that are surprised, SCG opened, saw a ton of decks in the top 32 with Jace. That's why I'm very glad I opened one. Keeping a hold of it though, so I can build my own more control deck later. Anyway, 3 O-rings, 4th is in the side. I like having removal in main. Right now I have 2 Sublimes and 3 Restos, I believe. Yeah. Hopefully tonight at FNM I can change some of these Restoration Angels into Sublime Archangels, because I realize Sublime Archangel just does so much more work for this particular deck. You can't abuse too many effects with Restoration Angel. Yeah, you can readjust Soul Bond or bounce like Thragtusk or something like that, but Sublime just turns any one of your mana dorks into a huge threat. And it in itself is already a huge flyer. So I'm gonna be ideally putting, I think, 3 Sublimes, 2 Restos, but maybe I can go 4. All depends. 2 Thragtusks, which I'm gonna change. Not change. I'm gonna add in 1 more. That's the current Armada Worm in the deck. I prefer that to be a Thragtusk, because Thragtusk is that good. It really is. So preferably that Armada Worm is a Thragtusk. And then one of the biggest cards right now is Sigarda, because there's so much spot removal. A 5/5 hexproof just is impossible to deal with for a ton of decks. So Sigarda is kind of my ace in the hole. People, I don't think we'll see that coming, which is great. Also, 3 Townships. Township is probably the best land in this deck. Gets out of control late in the game, lets you just do so much. and this is where the bulk of the cash comes in. I have to trade for. I need my place out of Temple Gardens. I opened 1. 4 Sun Petals, of course. 2 Caverns, primarily for mana fixing in the early game. When you play this, you're naming either humans for the, probably not Pilgrim, but Pilgrim, Silverblade Paladin, or you're naming Angel for Sigarda, Resto, or Sublime. So that's why there's only 2. I don't need all 4. Then I've got 3 normal planes, because I don't need that much white until the late game where, well, you get it with the duels, and then the rest of the deck is all forests. Sideboard right now, this isn't all done. I originally had Open World Tracker's main board. It's just a little bit slow. The Sundering Growths are also not going to be there. I get to fiddle with those. Sideboard, I've got my 4th O-Ring, the 4th Selesnya Charm, which I can't seem to find. 2 Miser Revenge of the Hunted. Once my camera decides to focus. Because in the creature-based matchups, like against Control, you're not going to bring this in like ever. But in the creature-based matchups, getting a Miracle Revenge of the Hunted is just, you get to steal games with it. I'm looking right now for my 2nd Triumph of Ferocity. Once my camera decides to focus. Again, adjust it manually. Looking for my 2nd Triumph of Ferocity for Control decks. You'd be surprised. This card does so much work against Control. 2 Rest in Peace for zombies. And Reanimator. Single Tristani. Life gain against zombies. Triple Centaur Healer. Sideboard against zombies. If you haven't noticed, I like the sideboarding in for the zombies matchup. The Miracles deck is rough to play against. Hopefully you just stick a Thalia and put them a little bit behind. But I mean, literally, the Miracles deck always does this sort of thing where it either does really well or it does really badly. It has so much variance. So hopefully not too many people play it, because I would hate to lose to it. The zombies, that kind of thing, I'm more prepared for. Having these guys would sub in for the Silverblade Paladin. The reason is if they have a ton of burn and spot removal, that would get rid of the double strike, and then they can just trade like their Gravecrawler for a blocker, and then they'll be like, oh look, I just get Gravecrawler back. So this guy's so much better, gains you life. Same with Tristani, and Rest in Peace just shuts down the Gravecrawler engine, the Geralf's Messenger. Not Blood Artist though. Blood Artist is a hard one to deal with. That's why you have Revenge of the Hunted in that matchup as well. So hopefully you guys like this deck tech. This is what I'm going to be playing at States, and hopefully I win, you know, get famous and stuff. Thank you guys for watching.